Hello everybody and welcome to the United League Championship Round 2 here in Bahrain. Sorry we're a little bit late getting underway. A delay unfortunately. Again, more problems with the YouTube channel. We won't be streaming on that, but that will be uploaded. It'll be uploaded onto that later. So at the moment I'm streaming it on Twitch and we'll just get on with things. So at the moment we're on board with ULC's J Pearson 723 on his qualifying lap, and it'll be interesting to see whether he gets held up here. There's a Sauber in front of him coming into the last little bit of the track. He pulls over to the side. It's not really a problem. It hasn't lost him too much time. Let's see what happens now going through the final corner. A few people have set their times. Let's see where he puts it. He goes second, ahead of Lucky Dog 2000 now for RRL, but behind Cyril Rosberg, and Z Racers has gone in front as well. So a few changes in the driver line. Today we have Z for Silent Thief, CRC, and we also have Mighty Midget in for BPRL, and he is replacing BPRL Goblin. And also in the SRL, Project 994 is in RBZ 1012. And finally, no, we have two more. Silent Mile 45 is in for F1 Maestro for the F1 League, and K Gibbs GP is in for Formula Xbox in place of Stopmat 1998. K Gibbs hasn't done league racing in a very long time, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But let's try and find someone who's on a flying lap, who we expect to be near the Cyril Rosberg. Unfortunate last time out with a disconnect. Interesting to see whether he can make a recovery. He's coming into the pits now. Anyone out there? Yeah, we'll go on board with Lucky Dog 2000 now. And I'm just going to try and get the link out to the stream at the moment. It will be interesting today to see if anyone can challenge Dizzy Cupid 519. Incredible from him in the last round, where even after a first corner collision he was able to recover and take a dominant victory, easily winning, even with a 5-second penalty applied afterwards. After the race, he was still able to take the victory. So very impressive stuff from him. Lucky Dog isn't on a proper flying lap, but Silent Mile 45 is, and he's got a lot of pressure on him. He's obviously replaced F1 Maestro 26, who got a good result last time out with second place and looked really quick. So the F1 League had a pre-plan of what they were doing with the lineup, and he was due for this race in Bahrain, whatever happened. He is a good driver around here, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do. He's currently on an out lap, as is pretty much everyone else at the moment. Zed Nausea is on a lap though, so let's see how he fares in this race. So it'll be interesting to see whether he can pick up some pretty important points for UCRC. They didn't have a very good first whatsoever. Final car, 8th position, and they finish 2 from the Liga 1-2, 1 from each other remaining league. filled out the remaining. So it was good to see all of the teams getting points, and hopefully they can all build on that from now. Unfortunately, the stream is terrible quality. It's really lagging at the moment, which I'm not really surprised about, to be honest, because I've had loads of problems with everything, it seems, at the moment. But hopefully it will clear, and then we can enjoy the racing. XRL Button said, any free driver positions? Unfortunately not. We've got 7 leagues on board, and each league has 2 drivers. Then obviously we need, for me, to do the stream. There's no more for any more drivers unless pull out, but that isn't looking very likely. Stay on board with Sam F1 LFC and see what he can do for Formula Xbox. A disappointing first round for him. He tried the 2-stop strategy in Australia, and unlike usual for him, it didn't work. He's the king of making the tyres last, and he's had a lot of good results through doing that, but unfortunately it didn't work out for him last time out. He's coming through the final corner now, and he's had a big moment on the curb there that would have cost him dear, as he runs to the line now, and he goes 9th, which is just ahead of Zed Nausea, who hasn't set a competitive lap time yet. But at the moment it is Cyril Rosberg looking dominant at the top, almost half a second in front of Zed Racers. And then Lucky Dog 2000 now, just behind, within a 10th there. And still haven't seen a lap time from either of the F1 League boys, or from Cyril Hamilton or Gibbs GP, who both had their lap times invalid by the looks of it. So here is Zed Racers now on a lap. Let's see what he can do, whether he can get any closer to Cyril. It'll be very hard for him to surpass him, because he's got a lot of time to gain. As I just said, about half a second he needs to gain to dismantle Cyril Rosberg from the top. He's now coming into the final corner and not using all the track. Let's see where it puts him. It is an improvement, I believe. No, it's not. It's actually a little bit slower. So still quite a long way off. Let's find if anyone else is on a lap. Seems reasonably quiet. Like still quite a lot of here in mile 45 starting his lap. He had a problem going out the pits the first time round. He spun from the last corner of the outlap, and therefore he had a little bit of a delay there, and that's why he's only setting his first lap time now. And 6 minutes remain in this session. Let's see if there are any improvements from drivers. Should be, because quite a lot of people have not posted lap times. So it's a 28.6 first sector, which is sector on around about the pace of the leader. 39.3 middle sector, which is a little bit off. This could put him in second place. So let's see whether he can get the final corner right and jump into second. It'll be a very tough for him to gain time in this last sector, with it being a relatively sector. And yes, he does. And how far off? Just over 10th off, so that's a good lap from him. He'll be happy with that. Still waiting for Dizzy Cupid 519. Obviously that is the person that we're really waiting for to see what he can do. He's proved it so many times that he's a very quick driver, dominating in AOR before he was put out for his bad connection, and also the F1 League champion who he's representing. He's proven many times on this game he's such a quick driver, but at the moment there's actually no sign of him out on track, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Comes the Mike out the final corner. He is running out of fuel. He's obviously on an in lap. Here's Mike Marshmallow, currently in 8th position, and he'll be looking to improve on that. He was unfortunate last week. Was running 5th until the last lap, where he had a half spin out of fuel. Race penalty really cost him. Unfortunately, such a shame. Looking like a strong 5th place. Let's see if he can improve now. And that's looking reasonable time. 6th it puts him up to, ahead of Burnout F1, but behind Jay Pearson 723. A pretty tight field at the only 1.7 seconds. The top 11, and as we've said, Zed Nausea represented yet. So once again, look for someone on lap. There is Cyril Hamilton, still no sign of Dizzy Cupid. Not sure. I haven't seen anything in the anything from him saying there's any issues. Let's see if he does come out. It's remaining in the session, and we've got massive lag on board with Cyril. Here we are. We're back again. Let's see. Extend his gap at the top. Just over 1/10 he has at the moment as a gap. And he'll be looking to extend it, because there is obviously the chance of the Silent Mile 45 improving, and he doesn't need to improve that much if he's to overtake him. So it is important that he gets this lap right. Probably his last attempt. Always run it deep there, and it was a 28.5 first sector, which is around about what he did before, but he's off now with that, I believe. Looks like he's backed off. Yeah, because he's taken the inside line, not using the track. We'll just check to make sure. There's obviously quite a bit of lag, so it is a. He did back off. Attempt though, so we'll be back on board with him to see whether he can get another clean lap in. Here is Sam on a lap. Also K Gibbs. Said Nausea. Sorry, something interesting actually. Forgot to point this out. K Gibbs is on the prime tyres there, so he's obviously going for a bit of a different strategy. And here is Dizzy Cupid. 1 minute 35 remaining in the session. He's coming out right at the dying stages to try and see whether he can put it on pole. He's obviously pretty confident that he can do it, but one mistake and he'll be starting right at the back in 14th position, which would be a disaster. But even then I don't think we could count him out of it. He's such a strong driver. And here Cyril Hamilton has broken his front wing. He's starting for the back. Last week he had the same problem. He had a strong race. It was a bit affected by a qualifying session that went wrong, and the same thing has happened here. He's got no front wing. He's in 13th position. So it's all gone wrong once again for Cyril Hamilton in qualifying. Here comes Dizzy Cupid to start his lap. We'll quickly check Cyril Rosberg to see how he's doing. A 33.5. No, he's miles off the pace in the first sector, so he's not going to improve. And Silent Mile 45 isn't out on track, so I don't believe anyone else is really close enough to put in a proper challenge. So it is going to be, where can Dizzy Cupid put himself? Can he put himself into pole. And Cyril Rosberg will be hoping that he makes some kind of a mistake. But Dizzy Cupid will be hoping that that doesn't happen, because it would be a disaster for him. Being retired now, so I've got to find him again. Is, and we'll go on board with him, just like we were previously. Unfortunately, we don't get the sector times now, so we don't really know how he's doing. But we know his aim will be for pole position and nothing else. At the moment it is Cyril Rosberg in first, and then Silent Mile 45 in second, and Z Racers in third. Will that change? It's looked like a good lap so far, a very clean lap from Dizzy Cupid, and that's what he does so well. He doesn't look fast, it's just a clean lap. He gets it all hooked up, and it ends up with being a good time. Comes out the final corner. Let's see where he puts himself. I think it should be pole. And it is. He's gone pole position. And Zed Nausea coming around the final corner. Can he improve from 13th position? Only ahead of Cyril Hamilton, who didn't really set a proper lap. He crosses the line and he goes 10th. So he'll be the last car starting on the tyres from qualifying. Anyone behind that gets to start on fresh tyres. Hopefully the stream is a little bit... I apologise about the lag that I can see in the stream, but there we go. That is the result. Dizzy Cupid, Cyril Ross, Silent Mile, Z Racers, Lucky Dog 2000, Jay Pearson, Burnout F1, Mike Marshmallow, The Mighty Midget, Z Nausea, Project 994, Sam F1 LFC, and K Gibbs F1. So both Formula X box drivers having not the best of qualifying sessions, but they will both get to start on new tyres. So it should be interesting to see how, first of all, Cyril Hamilton comes through the field, and also that battle in the midfield that we expect, and going towards the front. It should be Dizzy Cupid, really, who will be easily taking the victory based off what we know of him. But the battle for second between Cyril Rosberg, Silent Mile 45, and possibly Z Racers as well could be very interesting indeed. So we look forward to watching that. Obviously, I am out on track to start off with, and then I will retire, and then I'll be showing the views from the broadcast camera, because quite a lot of people said last week that they wanted to see the broadcast camera. And here we go, running through the grid one last time, and let's see what the race has in. I'm looking forward to it. I think it should be. Now we're just waiting for the cars on the grid. Now a few people to say that they're ready. There's another driver behind me, Pro Racing 69, in the lobby to watch and possibly record some footage as well. But here we are, all ready to go now. I'm going to pull off to the side, and then we can watch the action. We see actually in front of us, Cyril Rosberg is starting on the prime tyres in a bid to make a recovery, and there's a collision into turn 1 involving Lucky Dog and the Silent Thief. And it's, no, actually, sorry, Jay Pearson 273 have had a collision there, and they're right down the order. Early positions. And let's go up to the front now to see what is going on. And Cyril Rosberg has had a problem as well. Oh dear. That's such a problem with using the start camera. You miss it out completely. Obviously a collision there at the front between Dizzy Cupid and Cyril Rosberg. Cyril Rosberg has come off much worse, so it is the Silent Mile 45 who's managed to pass both Dizzy Cupid and Cyril Rosberg, who have clearly had a collision, and Dizzy Cupid is in third behind Z Racers. So let's see how quickly he can get past. It'll be interesting to see that incident afterwards, to see if Dizzy Cupid will get any kind of penalty for it or vice versa. Obviously, we're not sure whose fault it was because we really couldn't see it whatsoever. It's a shame you can't watch the race start. And there goes Reese just retiring. He wasn't racing anyway. And Dizzy Cupid now going side into the corner of Z Racers, but he's not going to make the move just yet. Tucking in behind, now putting himself behind for the long straight. No DRS yet, but of course slipstream and plenty of power in that Honda engine as well. Silent Mile 45 actually got a pretty big lead there. He's had a strong first lap as we go into turn 1. And that is the worst camera I've ever seen. We've completely missed it, but Dizzy Cupid's gone into the lead. We saw him draw alongside, and then he obviously got the move done. Burnout F1 is 4th. Z Racers. He didn't come out. It was Dizzy Cupid going past Z Racers there. But Burnout F1 is looking to make the move soon. So Dizzy Cupid, you would expect to take the victory now, having had not the best of starts, but not losing out too badly. And Cyril Rosberg obviously out of it now, right at the back. So both him and Cyril Hamilton for CRL obviously will have to make a real charge through the field. So let's see what the order is going down now. The rest of the field. So it's the Silent Mile 45, then Dizzy Cupid, then Z Racers, then Burnout F1. In 5th, it is the mighty Midget, who has a pretty comfortable gap in front of him and behind. So he's in a bit of a no man's land at the moment. Then next is Project 994. He's had a good start, so quite a lot of carnage going on there. He was 11th on the grid and he's now 6th. Cyril Hamilton is up to 7th, so a good start for him. And then it is the 2 Formula Xbox drivers who have also made up positions, who are in 8th and I believe 9th as well. But something's happened at the final corner, and it's Sam F1 LFC running wide. Mike Marshmallow has managed to pass him, but he's going to try and him into turn 1 now. And very tight battling there, very close. Thought there was going to be contact. Mike Marshmallow squeezing Sam right onto the apex. Very well done, aggressive but very fair indeed. As we now come in to the end of the first sector, Mike Marshmallow runs it a little bit wide, and Sam is now going to follow him through the fast chicane here. And Kay Gibbs is also having a look there. So Kay Gibbs obviously not deciding to start on the primes. He was originally out there on the primes, but then switched to the options at the end of the session. Didn't have to, but as two Formula X line and stern in 10th, and there's a little bit of action in front. That's Cyril and Project 994 having a bit of a battle, and it looks like Hamilton got in front up into 6th position. Still looks like nothing's happening between Mike Marshmallow and Sam F1 FC behind, so it's 7th and 8th for the Williams SRL drivers, and then Formula Xbox in Saubers next up. Let's go back up to the front, see what's going on. Still Z Racers in 3rd, Burnout F1 in 4th. Let's see what's going on in front. Dizzy Cupid has made it into the lead. Sorry, I missed that. Should have been paying attention. But it's now the battle for 2nd. We kind of expected Dizzy Cupid to get past anyway, and he has now done so. But it's the battle for 2nd, which we expected to be so fierce, and it is looking like that as Z Racers has passed the Silent Mile 45. No Cyril Rosberg in this battle, but still plenty of action as they go side. Who's got the position? It's going to be neck and neck going into the chicane. Silent Mile 45 squeezes Z Racers against the curb, and he carries enough speed through to hold the position for the moment. Z Racers tries the up and under though, and he's going to go round the outside into this hard hairpin down the hill, and they both managed to get through without making a mistake. But Silent Mile 45 hasn't taken the best of lines. He's run it a little bit, and Z Racers is looking to make the pass now in this DRS zone, but he hasn't quite done it. He's sticking behind now, coming to the end of the 2nd sector, and still in 3rd position. Let's go on board with him for a little bit to see what it's like following the Silent Mile 45 here. see if there's any chinks in his armour to make the move. Burnout F1, we can see they're behind, really close in 4th. He's been right behind this battle the whole way through, and he's had a little bit of a moment actually as Burnout F1 coming out that final corner, and he's dropped back a little bit. Z Racers using DRS now to very large effect, but Silent Mod 45 covers off the inside and keeps the position into turn 1. Races isn't done yet. He's got a good exit out of here. There's a really strong slipstream effect down this part of the track, but once again the Silent Mod 45 comes off the inside line. Z Racers pushing through here. See the Silent Mod 45 running a little bit wide, but they're still neck and neck. This is the opposite of what it was last lap, and it's turned out pretty much the same with them both coming out the corner pretty close to each other, but the Silent Mod 45 in front. Can Z Racers get through on the next straight? Obviously he's got to get the this braking zone right. It's such a tricky one, especially with ABS off, and it is banned in this league, so no one has it on. So he's got it right though. Burnout F1 has managed to close the gap down a little bit more, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can make the move. No, he can't. And once again, he's just staying behind. This is good defensive driving from the Silent Mod 45, but he's losing touch quite a bit with Dizzy Cupid. That's to be expected though. And I think honestly, everyone's job in this league is to come in 2nd place and just not worry too much about Dizzy Cupid. But we do have Burnout F1 having a look now as Z Racers go to the inside of the Silent Mod 45, but that is not going to happen. He's just going to have to use DRS now on lap 5. It'll be interesting to see tyre strategy playing out rather soon. We could see pit stops as early as now, but it's unlikely. Probably around about lap 7 I would expect. Silent Mod 45 has obviously got quite a low drag setup as he's managing to keep the position down the long straight. Z Racers looking around the outside, but that was never going to happen. Silent Mod 45 had the line, it was his corner, and Z Racers just obviously looking to get a good exit and see if he can challenge into here. He can't. Can he get through on the exit of this corner? No, he cannot, and he's actually made himself a little bit vulnerable there to Burnout F1, but it's not to be. Let's go back to the broadcast camera now. It obviously, we saw from that view, it is actually pretty tricky to get past the Silent Mod 45, who's making his car very wide and putting it in the right positions. He's doing a really good job defending at the moment, and it's looking like a really tough battle going on here. We're going to stick on board with it. It's getting exciting. You can see in the background there, Cyril Hamilton, having passed Project 994, is now catching up to the mighty midget, who was lonely in 5th position, and is now getting a little bit of company there from Cyril Hamilton. They're all 3 right behind each other. Burnout F1 having a little bit of a look down the inside, but it was not going to work into there. Not an overtaking spot there, but he's got a good exit as Burnout F1, and so is Z Racers, who's now looking around the outside of the Silent Mod 45. This will be interesting to see how it works. Silent Mod 45 very late on the brakes, manages to keep the position, runs it a little bit wide, but I think Z Racers has gone a little bit wide with him too, as they both peel off into the pit lane. All 3 of them coming into the pits here, so let's see how this plays out. Quite early pit stops on lap 6, indicating probably a 3-stop strategy, as Z Racers puts on another set of options. So yes, that's definitely a 3-stop for him. He's have to really stretch it out. He's actually lost a position here out to Burnout F1, so that has not played out well for him, as we actually see quite a bit of lag. Burnout F1 is in front now of Z Racers, and they're both on the option tyre. No, they're not. No, it's all gone completely pear-shaped now. Actually, the the view. Burnout F1 is behind, and he's on the primes. So sorry about the lag there. That was not actually the stream. That was just the game. Just not having a clue what was going on. Z Racers has held position from Burnout F1, who's on the prime tyres, and the Silent Mod 45 is behind both of them somehow. We now see Lucky Dog 2000 now, who he obviously had a pretty bad start because he was starting quite high up. He's yet to make his pit stop, I believe, and he is in 6th position. Sam F1FC still behind Mike Marshmallow in 5th. All these yet to pit. Cyril Hamilton has managed to pass the mighty midget and is pulling away already. So it's actually looking like he could be in the battle for second here, Cyril Hamilton, starting on the primes and looking like he's got very strong pace. It's all about whether he can make the pace matter now. This is when it really counts for him on the prime tyres. He's got to keep his pace up so he doesn't lose too much time to the cars behind. I'd imagine he'll probably try one stop less than them. He now takes the lead as Dizzy Cupid is in. He should easily come out still in the lead, should Dizzy Cupid. And here is Jay Pearson, 7-2-3. And let's see how Cyril Hamilton, Cyril Rosberg is doing on his fight back. He's managed to pass Project 994 and he's now looking to pass Zed Nausea. I think Cyril Rosberg has pitted, and he has indeed, because he's on the prime tyres by the looks of it. And so obviously have these other drivers, you would imagine. Because they're so far back. But yeah, they've made their pit stop. Mighty Midget is passed by one Cyril driver and now possibly by a second. So Silent Mile 45 in 7th. What tyres is he on? He's on the prime tyres, so he might be attempting a 2-stop. Obviously, as we said, Z Racers will almost certainly be on a 3-stop strategy now that he is on the option tyres. But these drivers pitting on lap 6 on the primes have a chance, a pretty slim chance, of making a 2-stop work. I'd say those who pit on lap 7 or 8 have a much better chance of making a 2-stop strategy work. So I hope you're all enjoying the stream. I will once again apologise for the lag that it keeps on popping up on my dashboard saying your stream's lagging. But it is still running just about, so hopefully it holds, basically. So it's all gone a little bit quiet now. The pit stops have gapped all the cars out. There is Kay Gibbs, who I believe he must be yet to stop, because he was nowhere near Silent Mile 45 before this phase. And there is his teammate Sam F1 FC coming out the pits, who's finally made his pit stop. But Mike Marshmallow continues. He is on the option tyres, so making it work until lap 9. Good effort from him, really strong effort. And Dizzy Cupid has come out in 3rd, so not leading at the moment, but should regain the positions once all the pit stops have been made. Burnout F1 in 5th, being closed down now by the Silent Mile 45. And obviously Silent Mile 45 had something go on in the pit stops. We couldn't see it because of the lag, unfortunately. He's lost 2 positions, but he's going to gain 1 back now, surely. Burnout F1 makes a really big mistake. Silent Mile 45 goes in front. Let's see if he can regain the position, but he's not, because Silent Mile 45 is clearly ahead. So Silent Mile 45 now back up into a provisional 3rd place, but he's lost out to Z Racers, who is now a long way down the road on those option tyres. We'll stay on board with this battle, as it does look like the rest of the field is pretty spread out now. We're just waiting for the final 2 cars to make their pit stops, of Cyril Hamilton on the prime tyres, and also on the option tyres Mike Marshmallow, and Kay Gibbs as well. Actually, he hasn't stopped yet. And oh my goodness me, that must be lag. Yes, it is. So Cyril Hamilton and Mike Marshmallow have made their stops now. That suggests to me a 3-stop for Cyril Hamilton. Only doing 9 laps on the primes probably isn't enough for a 2-stop strategy. So probably from here on in, probably 6, 7, 7 laps on 3 sets of option tyres. So he'll be really quick until the end now. Let's see where he's come out, see what he can do. His paces look strong there on the prime tyres, and as I just said, now he should be really quick to the end of the race. He's dropped back behind the Mighty Midget, who got the undercut on him, but I would imagine that Cyril Hamilton should be able to repass him pretty soon and make movements up the field. So that will be interesting to see what he can do now on option tyres. Mike Marshmallow is now on the primes and has Cyril Rosberg for company. And Cyril Rosberg, obviously, after his contact early on, which we didn't see, has obviously made a little bit of a change to his strategy, pitting early for the prime tyres. We didn't actually see him pit either, but obviously he did because he started on the option tyres. So he's still got reasonable life then, obviously, in these prime tyres, if he's still able to keep up with Mike Marshmallow, who's looked reasonably strong so far. Was doing a pretty good job in qualifying. And we're just going to quickly check the race director. I know there was quite a lot to talk about this last week, but someone has just asked me to check the race director, so I will do. Cyril Rosberg makes the move on Mike Marshmallow, so that'll be interesting now. They've both made one stop, but Cyril Rosberg should be due into the pits reasonably soon. I think he'll probably try and stretch it out to about lap 13, so he can go option to the end. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Cyril Rosberg can do now. His race severely compromised by that poor start. So let's have a look at the race director just to run you through the entire race order. It is Dizzy Cupid, who is on a 3-stop strategy, possibly a 2, because he made a very late first pit stop on the option tyres. Then Zed Race is definitely on a 3-stop on the options. Not sure about what Silent 145 and Burnout F1 will be doing. They're on prime, so they could go either way. And K Gibbs has actually made a stop, so he's in 5th, so I didn't notice that whatsoever. He's obviously done a very good job there to be in 5th place. Mighty Midget in 6th, who should be under pressure anytime soon from Cyril Hamilton, who made a late first stop. Then it's Cyril Rosberg, who's just backed Mike Marshmallow. And then we have Lucky Dog 2000. Not sure what's happened to him, but he hasn't had a great race so far. And then it is Sam F1 LFC. And, actually Mike Marshmallow's managed to repass Cyril Rosberg here. Let's go back onto this. And we won't bother showing you the rest of the order. Sorry about that. But, yeah, it's the UCRC boys down there with Sam and someone else who are not having the best of races so far, unfortunately. It's all kicking off here, though. And so we got a battle now. Lucky Dog 2000 is looking to pass Mike Marshmallow. Contact. And he's been hit off by Mike Marshmallow there a little bit. Racing incident from what I could see just from that. But obviously the battling between Cyril Rosberg holding up Mike Marshmallow. Lucky Dog 2000 was able to catch up and almost made the move there on Mike Marshmallow. But couldn't quite make it stick. And he's now, after that, under pressure from Sam F1 LFC. But Sam on the prime tyres. So you would expect Lucky Dog probably to be able to pull away a little bit again. And we'll keep an eye on that, but let's return to what's going on near the front of the field. Let's check to see what Z Races' pace is like. We'll once again check the race director to have a look at that. He's been doing mid-33s recently, going into the high 33s now. Silent 145 is pretty similar, but obviously has been slower previously. So Z Races will probably be looking to extend this stint just to keep his options open if his pace continues to be stronger than Silent 145. If it isn't, then he'll obviously have to think about pulling it into the pit lane. We have 28 viewers. Thank you very much. That's really good. We had about 30 odd last week, and it's looking like the same this week. So that's really good to see that there's so much interest for this league. But we'll move off Z Races because nothing is happening with him. There's still a battle going on between Silent 145 and Burnout F1, but actually the battle behind looks a little bit more interesting. Mighty Midget has pulled up close to K Gibbs GP. Obviously K Gibbs GP made an early stop, and that's probably why he's moved up the field. He was around about his teammate, who's now in the low end of the points, if not in it at all. And now it's looking like K Gibbs has made a lot of movement up the field from where he was there by making, I would assume, an early stop. Maybe that's why he's struggling a little bit on pace now, and that's why he's under challenge. But he's actually doing a really solid job. Hasn't been league racing for a few years now, and he's doing a really good job. Silent 5 and Burnout. But he has now been passed by the Mighty Midget, who went down the inside there. I think K Gibbs ran a little bit wide. Obviously the screen showed us something completely different, but I think he ran a little bit wide. The battle continues though. K Gibbs now will be in the slipstream and the DRS of the Mighty Midget, but he is pulling into the pit, so yes, it was an early stop from him. We'll switch to Cyril Rosberg now to see if he can make the move. And no, not Cyril Rosberg, Cyril Hamilton. And he has made the move on the Mighty Midget, so as I suspected, Cyril Hamilton has used his fresher option tyres to make the move on the Mighty Midget. And now all the action's coming up as we see Burnout F1 right behind the Silent Mile 45. These two have looked so equal on pace, and obviously actually not really that equal, because it seems like they've toed and froed in terms of their pace, but overall they've ended up really close out on track. So it'll be interesting to see, going back to Kay Gibbs, how he manages his strategy from now on. Probably another one more stop, and it'll be interesting to see if the undercut works for him once again and moves him up in front of these guys, as it moved him up a lot last time. Let's check behind. It is Cyril Hamilton who has managed to pull away from the Mighty Midget, and could be challenging for a podium. That would be a really solid drive from him. And after his teammate got a good qualifying session, it's looking like Cyril Hamilton's going to bring home most of the points. No one has got penalties thus far, or disqualified thus far, which is good to see. Obviously, corner going around here isn't quite so much of a problem. As we now exit the final corner, Burnout F1 has lost out a little bit there to the Silent Mile 45. Let's at the rear view facing camera to see Cyril Hamilton for a little bit. He's not close enough, but is Burnout F1 close enough to Silent Mile 45? Yes, he is. They draw alongside each other. Silent Mile 45 probably had the more optimum line, and that's why he's able to keep the position. But Cyril Hamilton has gone at the inside of Burnout F1, as now looking around the outside of the Silent Mile 45. He's going to tuck in behind, I think, here. Mighty Midget looking on, waiting for some carnage to ensue. Cyril Hamilton squeezes the Silent Mile 45 up against the curb. It's looking really close here. Cyril Hamilton obviously on the option tyres, so he's got an advantage there, and also fresher tyres as well, having pitted 3 laps later than the Silent Mile 45. Is he going to make the move here? Yes, he's got it done. Can he keep the position, however, down the straight? We'll look once again behind us to see how close Silent Mile 45 is. And he's not going to be close enough here, I don't think. It's quite hard to get the camera right there. But yeah, it is going to be Cyril Hamilton now up into second place. So Z Racers has pitted, and we've now got the continuing battle between the Silent Mile 45 and Burnout F1. And Mighty Midget gaining quickly. So Silent Mile 45, having led the first lap and a bit, he's now looking like he could be off the podium. He's going to try, I think probably maybe try and see if he can extend this out for a 2-stop. Because at the moment, as Burnout F1 pits, it's not looking good if he's on a 3-stop. And he actually has managed to repass Cyril Hamilton here. Or has he? Oh, they're going side by side. I really didn't see that one coming, but he's managed to stick with him, use DRS and get alongside him. He's now going to follow him to the end of the sector and through the fast chicane. But he's had a moment. Oh, that's very costly. He's lost about a second there, and we saw that really well actually on the helicopter cam there. That was a really good view actually of him losing the rear end there, obviously under traction, and losing out to Cyril Hamilton. I think he's going to try a 2-stop strategy. That's just my opinion, but I think he's going to try that to try and rescue something, because at the moment on pace it's looking like he could be under threat from both Burnout F1 and the Mighty Midget, and obviously that would be a pretty poor result from there. Let's see where Z Racers has come out. He is in 5th position, and in 4th is not... who's in 4th? Sam F1 LFC is in 4th. Obviously yet to make his 2nd stop, and that's why he's in a strong 4th position at the moment. So actually it's looking like on completely alternative strategies, the Formula Xbox boys could be on for good results. Kay Gibbs going with a very aggressive strategy, and Sam F1 LFC too, but for the very different reasons of going very long on his tyres. So it's interesting to see this. There's a lot of different strategies going on here. We've got Z Racers and K Gibbs going with this aggressive option strategy, and no, Z Racers now on the primes, but he will have to make another stop and then go back onto the option tyres once again, as we see Cyril Hamilton coming out of the pits, but that'll be lag once again because Z Racers should be miles ahead of him, and he is indeed. Silent Mile 45 has also pitted, so he's not going to be doing a two-stop strategy, and that's actually cost him dear. He's right down the field now, is Silent Mile 45, and we've got battling now. Cyril Hamilton has lost a bit of time to Burnout F1, who pitted earlier, and Burnout F1 looking to remake the move. So Hamilton's made his second stop, along with Silent Mile 45. Come out still in the battle. Cyril Hamilton managing to keep at the front of it, and Silent Mile 45 dropping behind Burnout F1 and Mighty Midget, and now right down in 10th position. But there's a lot of cars coming up now who are yet to make their second stops. Burnout F1 still harrying Cyril Hamilton for 7th position. This is a really intense battle now going on for this third position. Z Racers looking good for second. Oh, great move from Burnout F1, sweeping around the outside. Really good stuff from him there, and he's managed to get up into 7th ahead of Cyril Hamilton. But now watch it all kick off. Kate Gibbs has, yes, he has. I said he might be able to get ahead of all this by making an early pit stop, and he has indeed, and now he's passed the traffic of Lucky Dog 2000 now and Mike Marshall, who should be peeling into the pits either this lap or the next, you would imagine. Lucky Dog now comes in now, and Mike Marshall stays out for another lap, as we now got 3 abreast, and Burnout F1 is on the inside. Interested to see what happens here. He's managed to make the move. No, he hasn't. K Gibbs has stayed in front, but Mike Marshmallow has actually managed to repass K Gibbs there, which is very interesting. Cyril Hamilton now having a look on Burnout F1, and he's got the move done. So Hamilton is now back in front of Burnout F1, but they're still going inside into the chicane. Oh, almost contact there. That was really tense stuff. So K Gibbs has managed to get past all of this battling, but surely on the older tyres he's going to be a threat to first Cyril Hamilton, who's got through, and also Burnout F1, who kind of tag teamed in there and got through. Mike Marshmallow is in 4th position, and holding up this massive train now that we've got. Silent Mile 45 has managed to pass the Mighty Midget. We haven't seen that because we've been purely keeping up with all of this battling. We'll go to the broadcast camera so we can see it all occurring, and Cyril Hamilton is past Mike Marshmallow. Can Burnout F1 follow him through? Ooh, I don't think he can, and Silent Mile 45 is now back behind him. They're both on the option tyre. So, oh, there goes K Gibbs and the Mighty Midget. They've made contact. They've both gone into the wall, and that will cost them dearly. That takes the battle for the final podium position down from 5 cars to now 3, as it will be Cyril Hamilton, Burnout F1 and Silent Mile 45 who will be battling for third now. You would think after that contact being made. You can see Sarah Rosberger's gain from that, as we've got 2 cars. Have we going past Cyril Hamilton? No, just the one or none. Oh, and there's been contact behind. Silent Mile 45 has, oh, I think he kind of chopped off Mike Marshmallow there, but I don't know. Oh, that's a tough one to call. Mike Marshmallow had his nose in there, probably didn't need to, and the Silent Mile 45 kind of cutting him off, so I'm not sure whose fault that really is. Oh, that's hard to tell from that view. So the battle's now down to 2 cars for the final podium position, which is a shame. It's all kicked off behind. We've had 2 lots of contact between K Gibbs and the Mighty Midget, and also between Mike Marshmallow and Silent Mile 45, and this has massively benefited Cyril Rosberg, who is now ahead of all of those cars, ahead of Mighty Midget, ahead of K Gibbs, ahead of Silent Mile 45, ahead of Mike Marshmallow. So now it's looking like a good result could be on for the CRL boys, with possibly a 3rd and a 5th, I would predict, through this. Although, having said that, in 2nd position, I believe, is still Sam F1 LFC. Oh, he's down to 3rd now. Z Racers has passed him. He's having a really solid race, actually. This strategy from Z Racers has worked brilliantly. But look at this, Sam, who will be making his 2nd stop this lap, I would predict, and he is indeed. And yeah, that's really good for him. He's got a chance here, actually. of trying to work that different strategy to get onto the podium. Let's see if it works for him. As he's now in the pits. That's a lovely camera actually in the pits there. Cyril Rosberg goes past. Let's see where he comes out. Will he come out in traffic? No, he's going to be in clean air. So it's the Silent Mile 45 and the Mighty Midget, who obviously both had bits of contact, who are in front of him, and also K Gibbs GP as well. And let's see what's been going on in the comments. So someone's saying alternative strategy in the middle stint would have been a better for any one of those guys, and yeah, I would agree that trying something different has really worked here, because it's seems like all the people who have tried the conventional strategies have ended up in traffic and ended up having problems. Cyril Hamilton has kind of worked it a little bit, but it's been especially Z Racers and Sam F1 and LFC have really made strategies work here just through carnage, basically. And obviously I'm not that much of a successful league racer, but I always try and do something that takes me out of the main area of battling, because it does seem that with a little bit of online instability there are quite a bit of collisions in these races, and just staying out of it can really benefit you, and it has with Sam here, as he's now been able to extend the gap on tyres as other people have had contact with each other. The battle continues though for third position. Burnout F1 trying to repass Cyril Hamilton once again. These two have been going at it just for the last 5 or so laps with nothing held back. Cyril Hamilton manages to keep the position. We see there Cyril Rosberg in 5th. He's also tried something different, and it's worked for him. He'll have to make one more stop, but so will a load of other people. So that's worked for him. He's made an early stop, stayed out of the carnage, and he's managed to extend it nicely so that he should now be in a good position to take 5th or 6th, depending on what happens with Sam F1 and LFC. It'll be interesting to see. We'll go onto the broadcast camera once again and do a check of the race director now that everyone has made their second stop. Dizzy Cupid on the primes, well out in the front. No need to look at him. Z Racers should be on for second place. He was ahead of Sam, so third stop won't put him behind him. Then it's going to be really interesting to see Cyril Hamilton at Burnout F1, and then it's Cyril Rosberg who will be trying to keep behind these other people that have had a few issues in the Silent 145 and the Mighty Midget. Then it'll be interesting to see how far Sam jumps up from there. He won't finish 8th, he'll do better than that. I think he could be on for 3rd personally, depending on how his laps go now. And Mike Marshall has also had a pretty strong race. He's gone onto the options now, so he should have to make a 3rd stop. Interesting to see what will happen to him. And so is K Gibbs. He has made a 3rd stop too. He'll be running to the end now, but unfortunately that contact has really cost him. And then at the back we have Z Nausea, Project 994. And Jake Pearson has also made 3 stops. So it'll be interesting to see actually how those 3 stops pay out right at the back, see if they can make any progress right at the end. But Burnout F1 is ahead of Cyril Hamilton now. And they're still battling. It's been absolutely crazy. They should be making their final pit stops soon, I would predict. And who have we got next? Cyril Rosberg still staying out there. So, and he's really losing out now. Obviously his tyres are a lot older. And as I said, he's now under a lot of pressure from those who lost out quite dearly through contact. Silent Mile 45. I mean, if he doesn't beat Cyril Rosberg, it's been a really bad race for him, and he might not now, actually, because he's dropped behind the Mighty Midget. Another problem on traction for him, and that's really cost him that, because that's allowed Cyril Rosberg a little bit of breathing space, although Mighty Midget is still right behind. This could be an interesting battle as well now, so there's going to be battling all down. Oh my goodness me, Cyril Rosberg. Oh no, he hasn't. We've got obviously that battle for 3rd between Burnout F1, Cyril Hamilton, and Sam, and then this battle behind between Cyril Rosberg, Mighty Midget, and Silent Mile 45. And then after that, who knows? With all the different strategies, it's been hard to keep up with what's been going on near the back end of the points. So we'll try and keep our eye on what's going on there. It'll be interesting. Cyril Rosberg and the Mighty Midget both coming in. No, Mighty Midget doesn't. He was just using Slipstream. 7 laps to go. Cyril Rosberg putting on another set of option tyres. So let's see. And so is Burnout F1, he's pitted as well. I think it might be a little bit late leaving it 6 laps to go. I would do it personally with 7 laps to go. I'd pit. I think those who have done that get a little bit of an undercut, but not too much pain on the tyres. Mighty Midget is on the primes. I'm not sure where that actually leaves him, to be honest. I'm not sure what he's been doing previously. I think he's been running options, and that's why he's maybe been able to keep up without being noticed too much. But his pace is still good now on the primes, and they'll be almost certainly making one more stop and battling with Cyril Rosberg and Simon 145 to the finish. For what it's worth, let's check Dizzy Cupid. I'm not sure what he's going to be doing, but he could quite honestly do a 5-stop now and probably still win. And Z Race is looking on for a brilliant second position, so that would be really good for him. Let's check what's going on here. Lucky Dog is in 8th. Sam is behind Burnout F1. Oh, I'm not sure how that's happened actually. The RRL boys are now either side of Sam. I'm not sure how that's happened. Obviously, maybe Burnout F1's tyres weren't too bad, and that's why the undercut for Sam hasn't worked, because he was on the primes and Burnout was on the options. But that has really put pay to any chances of a podium for Sam, unfortunately. I thought with the gap that he had and the undercut, he would be able to come out with a relatively similar gap to what he had before and then hold on to the end. But it doesn't look like he's going to have that. Luke Julian has put in the chat that he's not very happy with the game and that it can go away. Cyril Hamilton, oh my goodness me, is right behind Sam. And yeah, as I said, the undercut has worked brilliantly for those coming in a lap earlier. Burnout F1 has got a big gap now in front of Cyril Hamilton, who's still got to pass Sam F1 LFD. They're going to go side by side here, and Sam is going to have to slot in behind. So it's going to be 5th now for Sam. Unfortunately, my hype has not paid off whatsoever for Sam, as he's going to end up now in 5th. I'm sure Mighty Midget's going to be making another pit stop. I can't see how he's been going to the end, because he's been pitting at similar times to those who are doing 3 stops, like Silent 145, like Cyril Hamilton and Burnout F1. Let's see where Cyril Rosberg is. He is behind. No, where is he? No, he's ahead of the Silent 145. Yeah, as expected. Silent 145 should jump Mighty Midget once he pits, but he's going to lose out to Cyril Rosberg now, because Cyril Rosberg did that long stint just then where he's able to do a very good job with the tyres, keep those guys behind, and now should be on for 6th, I think, which would be a good result for him. Let's go back to the broadcast camera, and Lucky Dog has managed to put himself into a pretty good position. I'm sure he's going to be pitting again, as there comes Mighty Midget out of the pit lane. And he's going to be behind Cyril Rosberg, and I would imagine behind Cyril Rosberg does the fastest lap. That's something for Dizzy to try and beat, something that Dizzy's got as a challenge. I'm not sure what Lucky Dog's done, but 6th position is looking like a good thing for him. I think he's got to stop, but he might be stretching out to the end and just trying something different. In that case, good on him, because it's looking like it might pay off for him. Yes, the Mighty Midget is behind. The Silent 145 has gone up into 7th position. And oh no, it wasn't. That was just lag that time. And what tyres is he on? Yeah, he's on the option tyres. What am I doing? There we go. So yeah, I'm not sure where to look out now for the action, because once again the cars have really spread out from each other. Now most people have made their final stops. We'll check the race director for one final time. Dizzy Cupid leads. He might have to make one more stop, but quite honestly he doesn't need to, unless he wants fastest lap. Z Racers in 2nd, Burnout F1 and Cyril Hamilton still battling. Then it should be Sam in 5th, I would imagine. And then it'll be interesting to see what happens with Lucky Dog, who's, I think, converted to a two-stop. Sam was always going to do a two-stop. Lucky Dog has converted, as we've got battling going on between Cyril Rosberg and Silent Mod 45, as we can see there. Those three there, Cyril Rosberg, Silent Mod 45 and Mighty Midget, will be all battling for position and probably trying to get ahead of Lucky Dog. And then the final point should go to Mike Marshmallow, I think. He's looked pretty solid throughout this race, but it might go to Kay Gibbs. So there'll be a battle for the final point there. We'll go back to the battle for third position then. As I don't know what's happened to Cyril Rosberg though. Unfortunately, I think we've missed something there. I think Cyril Rosberg has had a problem. And he's dropped behind Silent Mod 45. Still got a chance of beating Lucky Dog, because I'm sure Lucky Dog's tyres are going to go off. I mean, I think he's converted to two-stop from a three-stop, because he was quite low down early on in the race. But let's go to the battle now for third. It's been really hard to keep up with all the stuff that's been going on in this really good race. As what's that going on? Is that... Oh my goodness me! Burnout F1 is racing Z Racers for position. So, I don't know how that's happened, but Z Racers, who I thought was almost certainly on for second place because he'd avoided all the traffic and everything, is he on the prime tyres now? That could be it. Now he's on the options. I don't know how that's worked out, but Burnout F1 has actually managed to pass Z Racers. So Z Racers, what I thought was a second position, is dropping to a third position now. Cyril Hamilton looks a long way behind. Cyril Rosberg has disconnected. Oh, it's so unfortunate for him. So near to the end of the race. And no points for him once again. That's so unfortunate for him. But yeah, this is really put a cat amongst the pigeons now, because we've got a three-way battle possibly for second, or it's looking like it should be, between Burnout F1 and Z Racers. I really didn't see that one coming, and Z Racers will be desperate, I'm sure, to get that second position back. So that changes things up a little bit, because that means that now Lucky Dog for RRL is actually looking like RRL could get some really good points here, with Burnout F1 in second place now, and Lucky Dog looking on for a good result now that Rosberg is out. That's one less car to pass him, and one less person who could battle him and slow him down. So Lucky Dog here could be on for a good result. It would be between him and the Silent Mod 45, and also the Mighty Midget there, the battling between those on the fresh tyres and him. So very, very confusing race going on here, but a good one nonetheless. We've seen quite a lot of action, as Burnout F1 going on to the penultimate lap now has Z Racers right behind him in a really good battle that we've seen throughout the race here between those behind Dizzy Cupid. I think Burnout F1 has just got enough pace here. I think that he's got it in the bag. And obviously Z Racers actually last race had a collision with F1 Maestro that cost him dear. And that cost him second there as well, actually. It probably would have been third, but that cost him a second place, and he could be losing out on another second. But unlike last week, I'm pretty sure he'll be just wanting to take the podium, because he tried to battle for second last time and it cost him dearly. He dropped down to fifth, but he's obviously a racer, so he's going to want that second place back for sure. But can he do it? He's looking to the inside, and he is closer than recently, so he's got a chance here. It'll be interesting to see whether he tries anything special, or whether he just kind of hopes that he can get into an easy position to pass. How much risk is he willing to take? As we now come into the final corner of the penultimate lap, I have no idea how far ahead Dizzy Cupid is. He's probably just about to lap everyone, I would imagine. But going on to the straight for the final time, and it's going to be Z Racers looking down the inside with the DRS and the superior straight line speed making the move. But as we've seen, there's a lot of battling that can go on in this first sector. He goes and blocks the inside line and manages to keep the second position on the exit, but Burnout F1 has the better speed coming off the corner, and now looks to the outside. Z Racers defending very nicely indeed. Can he keep it relatively Oh no! I was going to say relatively close to the next corner, and he has done it, but with a little bit of a slide. I think he should have this now. Let's check lower down the field now, and we'll come back to that later. Silent Mod 45 has managed to pass both Lucky Dog and Sam F1 LFC to my surprise, and Mighty Midget has also passed Lucky Dog. And then in 9th position it is Mike Marshmallow, and then Kay Gibbs in 10th position, battling with Jay Pearson for the final points. But that's interesting, quite a lot of changing in positions there. But it is this battle that we really are focusing on now. Coming into the final stages of the race, Zed Races has managed to pull away a little bit, and I think he is going to take this second position. I thought he had it in the bag, but he's had to really fight for it here in the final stages. A fantastic drive, I think, from Burnout F1. Desi Cupid does the fastest lap on the last lap and takes it away from Cyril Rosberg, and he wins the race. And Burnout F1 tries it down the inside of the final corner. There's a little bit of contact. It's going to be a race to the line. Oh, and I think Zed Racers has got it. It was a very opportunistic move from Burnout F1. It almost worked. Silent Mod 45 has passed Cyril Hamilton too. I don't know how that has happened, but Silent Mod 45 has recovered brilliantly at the end of this race to take 4th position. And then it is Mighty Midget in 7th behind Sam F1 LFC, Lucky Dog 8th, Mike Marshmallow 9th, and 10th. Will it be Kay Gibbs or will it be Jay Pearson 3? I think it's going to be Kay Gibbs. And it is. It's going to be Kay Gibbs. GP, who looked like he could have had a really good result, but the collision cost him dearly. 10th position for him. Jay Pearson 273 in 11th. And then a bit of a gap to Zed Nausea in 12th. And Project 994 seems to have gone missing. But I've just had a message from Silent Mod 45, who has just said, how did he get 4th? And he's as surprised as I am. I thought he would have been ahead of Lucky Dog, but he's also managed to pass Sam F1C, and then somehow Cyril Hamilton as well. And I'm going to quickly send a message, and then I'll run you through the results. So there we go. Dizzy Cupid celebrating his second win on the bounce. He won't be here at the next round, but he's had a really strong start. So, oh my goodness me, Burnout F1 has been awarded second place on the results. But we clearly saw him cross the line in 3rd, didn't we? So that is interesting. I don't know what has happened there, but it is Burnout F1 who's actually taken 2nd on this. So that shows you how bad the connection was from my end. Zed Racers is in 3rd, and then it is Silent Mod 45 in 4th, Cyril Hamilton in 5th, Sam F1 LFC in 6th, Mighty Midget in 7th, Lucky Dog in 8th, Mike Marshmallow 9th, Kay Gibbs GP in 10th, Jay Pearson 73 in 11th, Zed Nausea 12th, and Project 904 was a lap down, and that's why we didn't see him take the checkered flag. He made a 4th stop in the end. Good race. I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. Full of action and really interesting. Obviously, we'll be looking through penalties and everything for corner cutting and collisions, and then the final result will be posted on the Twitter account at UL Championship. So finally, once again, I hope you enjoyed this race, and we will see you next time out in Austria, and we'll see in Dizzy Cupid's absence if anyone can take a dominant victory, or whether it will be as close as it was today. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.